all you cool people, you better leave now because it's about to happen.
Friday night and I'm riding solo. When I touch down, keep it on the low low. I don't mess with your energy. No photos.
Well, hey guys, welcome to Stonk Talk. Episode 6. I'm Robbie V. Just hit the post. I don't think I have to tell our viewers this, but it's definitely been an eventful day today. Very eventful. I think there's a lot of events going on in the financial markets right now. Obviously, as we talk every week, GME, the HKD, that's a whole different story.
I got to change it, Robbie. I had the green light on because it finished at 4 o'clock green, and then after hours took a dive.
Oh, really? How bad? Just
there goes retail selling after hours again.
I know. Well, hey man, people need money. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Kind of recap today. The market didn't do much. On the heels of the big employment report. It's coming out tomorrow. I don't know if you noticed at the post, but jobs claims were up again, and it's not. I don't know, boys. It's not looking. I don't think this rosy economy is not getting better anytime soon. But we usually just ramble on about the economy. Let's give GME its rightful spot here. At the top. Let's switch it up. Today's been a crazy day. Let's do it.
Sure. So we went along with hit the rice buckets. I didn't cut the clips that I wanted really. But I have a few things here. So I posted in our finance thread on Twitter. If you're interested in getting involved with that, message either of us. We'll get you in there. Sent this one last night. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up.
Oh, I remember.
So this is an article from Loopring a couple years ago. And what Loopring is they're GameStop's partner with building this NFT marketplace that they've put into the beta version so far. So this is an article I'd encourage people to check it out. The 2019 Truth on Security Tokens. And I paraphrased it a little bit in our chat last night. And pretty much what Matt is talking about. So he worked for Loopring. And then with the partnership with GameStop, they ended up snatching him up, and he heads up the blockchain division. So just to summarize this article here, what he's talking about is if you hold stocks today, we don't even use paper stock certificates anymore. And you kind of just, at this point, you're trusting that your account and your broker is on the up and up, and the shares that they say are in your account are actually in your account. And some stuff has been going on recently with GameStop where this might not be trustworthy information. We can talk about that in a little bit. But what Matthew Feinstone's talking about in this article is really tokenizing securities, like it says in the title. And imagine an exchange where everything's one for one and your share can be traced every transaction. So I held it, and then 6 months later I sold it, and Robbie V bought it. And, this is a traceable, trackable, transparent ledger. It's interesting technology. And I think he was onto something here from December 2018. What else did I have? Had some other Robinhood, along with Walmart and HBO Max. They're all cutting jobs right now. Robinhood cutting staff by another 23%.
I know, those poor people.
I mean, that was just a huge rug pull, in my opinion. Was they IPO'd it? It took off right at the beginning. I think
Yeah.
ran up to like $74, and then cratered down. And they were really big.
They also found out through Slack.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is there was another company that did that. Within the last year,
yeah.
they put out like some memo and it was like, yeah, by the way, we're cutting all these jobs.
Yeah. Then I think the CEO said like, well, this is really tough on me. It's like,
Was that Vlad?
yeah, somebody. I don't know who. I don't know if it was him.
Vlad Tenev.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, this is really hard on me, and it's like, never mind the poor people who have to like, feed their families and whatnot. I don't know. Walmart axed hundreds of jobs yesterday. I mean, our corporate jobs. I mean, the drum beat goes on, to say the least. It's just crazy out there. But
Yeah, so what I was kind of alluding to with things not being on the up and up with GameStop, and let me just play my quick little 5-second clip here. Yeah, forget about GameStop. So what happened, and I'll try my best to explain what was going on here, because accounts are not reflecting what they should right now, and people are asking their broker, and they're asking government regulatory agencies for clarification. GameStop's transfer agent, ComputerShare, they're asking them for clarification. So what happened here was on the 21st, at the end of the day, whatever GameStop shares you held were going to be multiplied by 3, and the company GameStop was going to issue 3 shares for every 1 that you held and give that to you in the form of a dividend. Why is that important that it's in the form of a dividend? It doesn't create a taxable event, right? So what we've seen, and I talked about directly registering your shares, not financial advice, but might be something to look into, is getting your shares off of that street name where your broker has the shares, and they're in your account, but really they're ultimately owned by the broker. What we saw in Germany, a little bit in Canada, some international holders, was they did not receive their dividend. I have shares in ComputerShare. They're directly registered in my name. Those were updated the morning of the 22nd, as they should have been. And what we saw across the globe was some brokers have said, we are instructed by the DTCC to process this as a normal stock split. And really what the easiest way to boil this down is that's fraud. And because you can't have the split via dividend as it should have been, and then also have brokers dividing shares, right? Or multiplying shares, rather, dividing the price. You can't do both at the same time. That's dilution, and it's very concerning. So I mean, really, you think about let's just throw some numbers out. If GameStop's got 80 million shares that they've issued, right? They know they've issued 80 million shares. So we're going to issue 3 times that, 240 million. DTC, here they are, distribute them as they should, but really, because of shorting, more shares exist than should be possible, and there's not enough to go around. And a lot of people are losing faith in the system. It's very concerning. I mentioned directly registered shares before. That's the only way to ensure that your broker goes out, buys a real share, and you register it in your name, as without actually having something tangible that I can touch other than my account statement. That's the closest thing to proving this really exists. I actually own it.
Yeah. No, hit the post. You're definitely right. It's definitely important to register your shares. You do not want them floating around, especially in crazy market times like this.
I mean, you're pretty much these German GameStop holders. They're basically what's happening is their brokers just multiplying their shares by 4, and you kind of trust that it's there. But I mean, it could just be all IOUs.
It very well could be.
It's scary. It's alarming. I mentioned it, I think 3 weeks ago, with GameStop's marketplace, which is currently in beta, hasn't rolled out completely. But when GameStop said, "Hey, we're going to do a share dividend," they said I'm paraphrasing again, but there's verbiage in the announcement that if this is not handled by regulatory agencies in a way that we're comfortable with, or if everything's not on the up and up, we reserve the right to withdraw all of our shares, and we'll find somebody who can do it. And I showed that article from Loopring about tokenized securities. It's not hard to imagine that an exchange might be created with that kind of transparency. And I posted in our chat, maybe earlier this week or late last week, a tweet from Gary Gensler, who said that if somebody could create something like that, and prove that clients can trust it, then likely that would create a surge of loyalty.
Yeah, I think in the financial services industry, I think trust is something that obviously it takes time to build, obviously, but with recent market events, of 2008, COVID and whatnot come to mind. I mean, some of that trust, unfortunately, definitely has been lost because of GME, because of what the exact situation what happened with Robinhood and GME. Where you couldn't buy, all the shorts got out, and that was it.
Right, and that's a great point to bring up. Is during that run up, January 21, the buy button was turned off from a lot of major brokers, Robinhood included.
Yeah.
And a good segue is this company that I have my eye on this week. They IPO'd late in July. The company's AMTD. The ticker is HKD. And this week, they became one of the 20 most valuable companies on the planet, averaging around 25 million in revenue per year. I think last year they did 10 million in revenue, and this stock ran up to over $2,000 a share. It's this Hong Kong company. Funny enough, they do have ties to Citadel. Their office is like a 4-minute walk from Citadel's old headquarters in Chicago.
Just so happens, right?
Yeah.
They
passed Walmart in market cap.
Yeah, I know. That's insane. I mean, we rag on the SEC and the financial authorities, and rightfully so. I mean, this is a situation where obviously this is, pump and dump or something. I mean,
I named the episode the DTCC is complicit.
Yeah, they are complicit. No, I mean they should be. I mean, honestly, something should be investigated here.
Well, it's almost like they took these dividend shares and use them to pay back shorts, but that doesn't help your case because you still have all these accounts that are owed shares.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where they're gonna find them all.
No, and when's the rug gonna fall from all this? I mean, obviously, like this does have a top. Eventually, people are going to try to get out.
A lot of people thought that the share dividend was going to be the breaking point for GameStop. Hasn't fully worked itself out yet.
Well, I was talking about the Hong Kong company, not the...
Oh, well, yeah. But just to finish that thought, a lot of people do think that if GameStop were to issue a dividend in the form of an NFT, that would be huge because if everybody who owns one share is owed an NFT as a dividend, if they've only minted this many NFTs, how do you supply to those extra shares that are floating around?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
and what's really cool about that idea is GameStop actually updated their wallet for the for the marketplace. And now you can activate an account if you send somebody an NFT to that wallet. So GameStop could activate everybody, because otherwise there's a fee.
Yeah.
GameStop could activate everybody's GameStop wallet just by sending them an NFT in the form of a dividend. And I think, that obviously creates daily active users.
Oh yeah.
It would really, really get the marketplace is already doing awesome. Several times more successful than Coinbase's NFT marketplace. It's the possibilities are crazy. Back to HKD. I think they're just pumping this company up just to meet margin requirements.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it can't go on forever, especially on $25 million worth of revenue. I mean, come on, like there are companies on the OTC, for God's sakes, that trade for pennies. For tenths of pennies that have like revenue, 25 million. I mean, Jesus, Yeah, the other major, not GameStop related or HKD related, but one of the major stories I think this week was I wish we do wish Boner James was here, is that oil just keeps trucking down.
He had another big win with PNE.
He had a huge win with PNE. My God, those earnings were unbelievable. I mean, round of applause. You got to listen. You got to.
Speaking of dividends, they're giving a dividend too.
What'd you say?
Speaking of dividends, they're giving a dividend too. I think 20%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, PNE, get it. It's a great company. You learn a lot in the finance chat. If you want to be added, let us know. I
know I've been clogging that chat up a little bit this week, but a lot of stuff's going on. It's interesting.
A lot of stuff is going on. Today not. Everything's going on. What the funny thing is, everyone was talking about, like the economy's going to bounce back and whatnot. So I was, in all places, I was in the supermarket on Sunday, and where I go for the supermarket, sales are over on Saturday, whatever. So usually, supermarket doesn't carry over sales and, last week's to this week's. So I was just like hanging out, whatever. So we were walking down, and all of a sudden I hear, for certain items, last week's sales are, for lobster, steak, all this stuff. They're actually trying to get rid of all that stuff because they're so badly underperformed. I guess the general message is, I don't think this is over. I think people are really starting to cut back. I mean, it's never good when your local meat guy in the supermarket is trying to get rid of stuff, because it's going to go bad. I mean, if the higher priced items aren't selling, it's not good. The other thing too from last week, McDonald's had great earnings, and that's something where people who usually go out to eat go to Mickey D's. It's like a down. I don't know. I don't think we're
going to You can get some good deals in if you have the app.
Oh yeah.
You can get a free McChicken or something usually.
Yeah, dude. I mean the what was it? The chocolate milkshake and McFlurry is pretty good late night. Speaking from experience on that, and fries too. It's a good time. No, I don't know. I don't think the economy's. I think unfortunately, first of all, I think we can agree hit the post. That number for the second quarter is going to be negative 1.5 or more. There's no way it's going to be negative 0.9. No effing way. Like with all the bad economic data that came out this week with the S&P flash services was like 43, which is contracting. The others were bad. Like there's no way. The other thing is what the Fed watches. It's like the Fed's favorite gauge for inflation. Yeah, that blew past estimates again. So Powell's basically in a corner. I don't know. I mean,
our old friend.
Oh god, yeah. Money's it's infinite, man. Just keep printing, right?
That was a good find.
Oh, it was a great find. I just think that, and we've talked about this, but I think we are going to see 0.75 in September. And I'll be honest with you, I think we could see 0.25 or 0.50 in August for the Fed funds rate. I really do. And I know I made my money lock at 0.75 in September, but I'll throw out another one. I think we're going to see it's either a quarter or a half in August. I think the inflation number is going to come in and explode. I think if Powell's going to be forced to act. I mean, they're already talking that 4% on the Fed funds rate by the next year. And No, it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, we mentioned in the chat, I think just yesterday, what a great time to start the finance shows. Just there's so much going on right now.
I know.
Between
Man.
inflation and rising interest rates and stocks climbing to 2,200 a share out of the week after the IPO. I mean, it's really just crazy.
It's a great time to be alive.
Yeah,
it's a great time to be alive. I don't know if you've been seeing, unfortunately, the new hotspot for unrest is Argentina. That was those people were going off yesterday. It's great times. And obviously this is all due to rising prices of oil and food products. Panama's another hot. We've discussed before. Panama went off the other day again. There is actually, I was happy to see Canada is actually not going to. There's been pushback against those cuts against the nitrogen and the fertilizers and whatnot. Yeah, Argentina, man, who knew? I had no idea it was that bad down there. In like one of the videos, some guy's walking on around with a sawed off and like a freaking like Coca-Cola. It's one way to do it,
It's been going on for a while. This article's from July 9th.
It's crazy, man. Also, shout out to Dr. Vaca. Happy you're back. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Oh.
Big day, big day.
Big day today. Big day. Any thoughts on the new network? Or
I just want to continue doing Hit the Rice Bucket, continue doing the finance show. One guarantee, Hit the Post isn't going anywhere. Mixcloud.com/hitthepost. You can also go to hitthepost.live. Take you to the same place.
Exactly.
Not going anywhere.
News, Stonk talk, news Robbie V. It's not going anywhere. You take that to the bank, It's good. What's going on? I'm just trying to think here. We could talk, and we've talked about that. It's just a lot going. In general, there's a lot going on, but I think it's just important for everyone to kind of keep your head through these crazy times. Don't do anything stupid. And also, mortgage rates are starting to level off a little bit, so it's kind of, the 10-year. I think it hit like I think it's up to like 2.6, 2.7 today. So finally, the rates are coming down from 6 to 5, which 6 to 5%, which should help out the homes a little bit. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't know what you think at the post. But.
I'm not too in tune with housing. My only comment, just scrolling back through the chat here to see what I was talking about yesterday. Saw 73 tickers with a limit up, limit down halt yesterday. 73 times there was a halt on 26 different tickers. That was down from 116 halts on 28 tickers on Tuesday. That's greater than 94.7% of all trading days since the end of August 2019. Market volatility is very high.
I know. I think that's just an uncertain. It's just just because of the uncertainty of the times. I mean, look at the Fed reverse repo rate. I saw somewhere it hit over. It keeps going up. I know it hit like $1 trillion. I think.
Over 2 trillion
over
for
2 trillion,
more than 50 trading days, I think.
That's insane.
I'll have to dig up the chart, the historical chart, because I saw one that goes back to like 2016, and you can see the spike, and it's like it's just so fishy.
I know. And I do think that there's something going on out there, but it just hasn't come to roost yet. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I mean, in all honesty, I don't know why the heck the market's at 32,400 or 300, whatever it is anymore. I mean, honestly, it probably should be trading 30 with all the earnings. Even some of the earnings have not come out that they're that good.
Yeah, here's that article from Reuters that I pulled. Finally, somebody talking about the reverse repo problem.
Huh.
Top 2 trillion for 39 straight days. So I was wrong on that 50-day quote. Sorry about that.
It's all right. 39 straight days, though. That's a long time. And Barclays expects the reverse repo to be 2.8 by the end of the year.
3 trillion. It's crazy. It's been over. I think the highest it got to was 2.2 trillion or so and change.
It's
Finally somebody else talking about it.
I know, it's amazing how a lot of the stuff, has been swept under the rug, and it's obvious symbols of financial distress. I mean, Great Britain today, the Great British Pound got clubbed today, because they raised their interest rates. It's just insane, man.
£1 equals $1.21, $1.21.
Jesus. Dollar, man. I mean, I don't know. Oh. Do you want to wrap it up, Post? No, we went over on hit the
Yeah,
red spot.
let's just breeze through some AMTD because I'm finding those screenshots now. So just a lot of buzzwords here. One-stop digital solutions platform in Asia serves as a fusion reactor. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sneaks, thanks for that.
Thank you. Imagine if that HKD bankrupts everybody.
There's they were bullish on Evergrande.
Oh my god.
That went bankrupt.
That's
Shocker.
A mess. They're such a mess. I mean,
history of allegations of fraud? That's surprising.
Yeah, no. Well, no.
There's them. Number 25 in the world this week. And valuable companies. Look, they're ahead of Pfizer. They're ahead of Coca-Cola. More valuable than Bank of America.
What the?
Well, look at the share price. $1,600.
Man. Someone laundering money through that company?
Their gifted management team.
Yeah, big time. Big time. Jesus.
That's some more buzzwords on what they do.
Yeah.
Fusing synergistically all elements within the AMTD SpiderNet ecosystem using digital means. What?
Yeah, it's interesting. They got a heck of a thing going on there,
There's a vocal Twitter user. So HKD climbs from 1352 to 942, a 5,000% plus climb. No buy button removal. GME went from 21 to 400. They removed the buy button because systems couldn't handle it. This is a quote from The Big Short.
Yeah. It's good to see that people aren't bitter about what happened with Robinhood and all that. Everyone's just let it go.
I'll be honest. I don't have any money in Robinhood. I don't have any shares in Robinhood, but the platform itself is good. I like that I just have to put in a 4-digit PIN to sign in. So I still do use it to check tickers really quick. But one of the downsides, we got Brian in the comments talking P&E to the moon. You can't trade P&E on Robinhood. That's a downside.
Yeah.
That's about all I had. I'll be better about clipping stuff for next week. Because I did have. We don't need to watch the Robinhood cutting staff by another 23%. It's just talking heads saying exactly that. Yeah. But I did. There was one Anthony Chikumba is he works for Loop Capital, is the underwriter for that HKD, that AMTD Digital.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that they have financial ties to Citadel. They're 4-minute walk down the street in Chicago. And that guy is most notably known on CNBC for going on there and just trashing GameStop. It's interesting how it's just a web.
It is a web, man.
But I mean, that's what I love about being a GameStop investor. Is I know a lot of other investors out there are, some would say, have an autistic diagnosis, and these shareholders are flipping over every stone and finding everything. It's really it's a fun time to have a finance show and to talk about all this stuff.
No, definitely, it is. Oh, I think, does that about wrap it up? You think, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. It's been a heck of a 36 hours. Dr. Silver, couldn't be more happy to have you back. And we'll see you next time on the new channel. And last but not least, way to hold the line. Have a good night.
That's right. Let's find an outro here.
Yeah.
Where's the Wall Street drop? I swear that it's just called Wall Street.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll just play the intro.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
All you cool people, you better leave now because it's about to happen.
Friday night and I'm riding solo.